Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 of the Why Different podcast. This should be episode 3, but we previously tried to film episode 2. And what would you say the worst thing is that could happen to you after you've recorded an episode?
I mean, it's a podcast, isn't it? So maybe the audio file's the main important thing.
Yeah, so
I've got clean, crisp video, everything.
Yeah.
And Sam didn't turn the mics on. So
Yeah. Oh, it was my fault. The mics. The mics were on, but they just basically weren't feeding into the recording file, and
I think both of us should have realised,
nothing.
though, like it's just one of them, isn't it? It's an experience. So here we are in episode 2.5. Is that what we're gonna call it? Or?
Yeah. As much as I hated, as much as I couldn't believe it when we looked at the file back, and there was no sound.
To be fair,
it is funny. I can laugh about it now.
We did speak about like a lot of stuff. So we've tried to like recap what we spoke about in that episode. So we're gonna like try and go over it in the next couple of podcasts. But obviously, we'll just chat shit anyway. So
yeah, like,
whatever happens.
The aim of this is not to repeat what we said last time. Like, we know what topics we spoke about. Yeah. It was a really good podcast. That's the thing.
That's why I was so like I wasn't showing it because obviously I'm not gonna like it's shit. You know what I mean? But like. I felt like it was like proper. Like I feel like it was the first time we'd recorded in a while, but like it was like we hadn't been away from the first episode. Like it was so easy.
It was flowing really well.
Yeah. But it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them things. Like it's not a big deal. We're back again, so
yeah,
we'll just record another one.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer knowing that we're back now and we know how to turn the mics on.
Yeah, I think a lot's happened though since the last episode to now. Like, what was the first episode recorded when?
The first episode recording date, it was February. It was like
middle of Feb.
Yeah, like 20th of Feb or something.
Bloody hell! So like what, a month essentially?
Yeah. So what's the date now? We're recording this
20th, innit? 18th, 15th, 13th. I don't know. To be fair.
Something like that. Either way, it is 2 days after Newcastle had just won our first trophy.
It's a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. And obviously Newcastle, 2 days after Newcastle won the Carabao Cup.
He's literally just got changed into his Newcastle shirt.
I mean, come on.
Which is very embarrassing.
No, don't say that. Don't ruin it.
Nah, like, fair play. Like, obviously, I'm not a Geordie, like I'm a Mackem. Like I like Sunderland over Newcastle, but like I get like I'm not one of these fans who are like, fuck the club. Like I get like I can imagine it feels fucking mint, you know what I mean? Like and honestly, like I watched the game and you were fucking mint, like proper good game.
We deserved it in the end.
I feel like Liverpool didn't just come out of the trap at all, like I think there was stats that like I think Mohamed Salah had like 4 touches in the second half. Like
sounds about right.
I get that they were knocked out Champions League midweek, but you think they'd show like a bit more fight. Like, but then I'm not saying Liverpool was shite because I feel like that's taking credit away from obviously the team, but. You were a really good player, like good game, really good game.
Because we never really speak about football, and to be fair, it's not really to do with the fact that you're a Mackem. It's so weird, isn't it? Like I support Newcastle, you support Sunderland, but we never really talk about football. To be fair, there's enough other stuff to talk about.
We should do a football episode, though. I think like I watch like my football every weekend and stuff, and I just think it's tough. Like I think once Sunderland are back in the Prem, it'll be a bit more talk about because we can.
That's going to happen.
Chat about our derbies and stuff. I'm just ignoring that sly dig, but yeah.
No, I like it for you lot. I honestly wish you come back up to the Premier League so we can slap you about again.
Fuck off, mate. Like I think if we won the past like 8 until the past game, like
mate, in the last decade we've had like 2 matches. The most recent one was like, what, a year and a bit ago?
No, it was last year. It was in the cup, wasn't it? You beat us like 3-0.
Yeah. Just over a year ago, I think that was.
Was it over a year ago?
Yeah, I remember it was like January because I was back in London.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a pretty routine win.
To be fair though, like obviously the Saudis took over and that, and everybody was like, oh, like it's not nice, and they're still against homophobic stuff and stuff. But like it's not that deep, is it? Like it's a football club. It's not a gay bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that people want good owners that are going to be.
Yeah, but like.
Well, it's, the human rights.
But their background
is not good. Let's be honest.
Fair play. I get that. I'm not saying that stoning people's good, but like.
Good.
I just. Why does everything have to be so deep about like it's the same as when like people become famous and then like people are looking at tweets from like 20 year ago, like fuck off. Like who's asked what like I said when I was like 15, I'd have been calling people twats left, right and centre. Like it's not a thing. Like that doesn't define who you are now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
I feel like it is a bit different though, because like that from football club owners, because at the end of the day they've got a lot of power, a lot of influence.
Yeah.
So they can sort of do what they want, like sports washing.
Look at City.
Of basically Saudi Arabia now has this great brand. Think about the boxing that's going on over in Saudi Arabia, and people are loving it, going there and being like, Saudi Arabia's great.
That's their culture, you know what I mean?
What, boxing?
No, like
it's not.
It's the same as if like other countries came over here and said like we had to do what, like live our life like they do. Like it's not. It's the same. Like, so, like this is gonna sound very ignorant, but like if that's the way they live, like I know it's wrong in our heads, but they obviously think it's right. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
what are you referring to
it.
Specifically?
I don't know, just the way that like all of the anti-Saudi things that people are going on about, like fucking hell, I'm a Macam and I'm sticking up for the fucking.
I was gonna say you're always sticking up more than me, yeah.
Nah, I just think like football's football, like it doesn't have to become political, and I think that's what it's getting into.
Yeah.
Erase everything I've said about Stoner and everything. What I meant was that statement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ultimately what you meant. Is
like,
try and separate
like,
the two. That's I think your point.
I feel like the pundits want to make it political though. Like you look at like overlap. I was saying like all of them make it political. Like they want to like push their opinions. I think, but it's not that deep. Like it's 90 minutes. Like a football on a field. Like I know, but
I think it does go back to the point. Like they've got a lot of power and influence.
Like I watched
over the clubs and the fans and everyone.
Did you watch the Ratcliffe interview?
I didn't. I didn't watch it actually. No, but I've seen sort of like Roy Keys' reaction and things like that.
I think basically one of the main topics was about how he stopped serving meals for free in the canteen, isn't he, at the United?
Yeah.
And and apparently all of there's like an ex-players foundation. And he stopped this ex-players foundation because he says the club needs to like save cash.
Yeah.
But then all of the footballers on the overlap is saying like, but that's just going against everything the club like stands for. Like United's known as like a club for the city in Manchester.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but
yeah, because I heard that old players thing is not people like Wayne Rooney and
it's like people from the 60s,
people from the 50s and 60s that basically
got fuck all for paying it.
Exactly. They barely earned a living then, but it wasn't enough to sort them out for life. Yeah,
it's mad, man. Like I get that, like it needs to profit and it's a company and like the company's there to make cash, but like it's when it gets to like what do you put first, people or cash? And I feel like a normal person would say people, but the big dogs and the higher ups always go cash.
Yeah. Ultimately, I mean, just going about trying to save every penny is not the way to go. Obviously, we had Mike Ashley for however many years, 15 years or something, and we've now shown that with a bit of investment. It's tough though because our owner's got a lot of money, but it shows that with a bit of investment, the potential that the club did have compared to just fighting relegation every season.
But Ashley was bad in the sense that he wouldn't pump cash into the club, but I don't think he was. He was a fucking Cockney cowboy. Yeah, I get that, but like, it wasn't like. I don't think he was bad, like profit-wise for the club. Like, mate, like under
because he didn't spend anything
or something. Didn't you? Like,
it's not about profit, is it?
Yeah, but still under him, you had Tiote, Demba Ba, Papis Dembasise. Like,
yeah,
you still had the fucking like.
We did have a good era, 2012 and 2013.
What I mean. Like,
yeah,
it can't have been that bad under him. Like, I get the far end of the spectrum. Like, I can imagine it was shit.
Yeah,
it's the same as us on the bloke off the. What was he called? Stuart. He was a Cockney as well.
Who?
There's like a theme here, isn't there? Cockneys are cowboys.
Yeah.
Stuart Donald, is it? He took over Sunderland, and then it was like all a big scam. And have you not watched it on Netflix?
No.
Watch it if you want to laugh. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll get a good laugh out of that. Fair. But have you not seen the photos of, like, instead of buying proper decent ice baths, it would literally be like swimming pools and they chuck a load of ice in.
Yeah.
Like, the actual professional football team, it's insane, man. It's insane, man.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And I think because it is a city club, and it, like, I feel like Newcastle, Sunderland, North East clubs are proper, like, die-hard fan base, like, very, like, literally, like, bleed black and white, I'd say, for people of, like, Newcastle and red and white for Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland fans got a lot of passion as well. Yeah, I don't, obviously, well, it's a bit different, I'm not a Geordie, but...
Is your dad,
but
is he like that?
It's sort of just like, I feel a bit sorry for Sunderland now, you know?
Why?
It's just, because...
We're on the up now.
You know, obviously we've just won a trophy, we're doing really well, and it's just, you know, you're pesky little Sunderland, you know, you're just down there. But, to bring it back to our cup win, obviously, brilliant, Dan Burn, incredible, Bruno, incredible. But what I was going to bring up, actually, so the last time we won a trophy was 1969, the Fairs Cup.
Yeah.
So my uncle, he has a framed shirt signed by all the players from that trophy win.
What?
So that, I remember when I was a kid, we always used to, like, stay in the spare bedroom where it was and just know that was the last time that Newcastle won a trophy.
So now are you planning on getting, like, a shirt signed in case it's another 70 year? Or?
Well, hopefully it won't be another 70 year, but it definitely could be.
I don't see it. I think
I don't know how I would get one of them, but
he'll push on now.
Yeah, but I think he was friends. He was part of some supporters group.
Right.
He got it through that way. I mean, it would be incredible high demand to get one now.
I reckon House stays until after the 2026 World Cup, and then he gets England job.
You reckon?
Tuchel's contract is only till 2026, isn't it?
Yeah, but what about when he wins the World Cup with us?
German, though.
You just want to get rid because he's not English.
Mate, he's a class coach, like, but obviously basing off his team selection from, like, the last week, like, it's a bit ropey, I think. Like,
I think bringing Jordan Henderson back,
a
bit weird. At least Morgan Gibbs White is in the squad now.
Yeah, but, like, I just think, like, I hated Southgate, like, terrible coach, like, backwards football, like,
defensive,
just proper. The lights are on, but nobody's home in terms of, like, tactics. But
he spoke a good job.
Yeah, but I feel like he was a yes man. Like, he was the FA's lapdog, wasn't he? Essentially, like
Yeah, he's very clean.
Oh,
Never said anything
too
wrong,
clean,
which is
mate.
obviously fine. But you've got to have a bit of.
I reckon he's.
I liked him as a bloke.
Nah.
Yeah. What? Not even as a bloke, you didn't like him.
I
Like,
just think he's a wet wipe. Like he's the type of man who'd like, I don't know, like ask his lass if he's allowed a can out of the fridge on a night. You know what I mean? Oh, please, could he have a can of Foster's? Like, just out there, like in a bit. There wasn't any passion with him, I don't think.
yeah, there was. There was passion there. You see all the celebrations of.
Yeah, but everybody celebrates, don't they? Like, doesn't mean it's passion. It's just happiness. Like,
Yeah, but
I'm being cynical.
yeah,
I feel like I'm being a right.
I think
twat.
you didn't like his football, so then you've just worked backwards.
Too shallow, mate. I'm hopeful.
But yeah,
I think
hopeful.
if we were to win, now it'd be the right time. But I said that 2 years ago.
He's still got to go
4 years
if he
ago,
wins the World Cup.
So, because I don't think he'll stay after. I don't think he's I suppose, big job wise, winning that with England is the only route I think he has into like a club job again.
Back
I
into
think
a
he
big.
got
Yeah,
sacked
like
at
just,
PSG,
you see this
sacked
as,
at Bayern.
you see this as like you think he sees this as an opportunity
Yeah.
to prove himself, and
'Cause-
because think about it, like we got the potential to win a
Oh, mate,
trophy.
100%. Like, it's just we say it every year, but it's just so like unpredictable. Like Champions League and that is knockout tournaments, but it's different. Like, especially the fact it's been ramped up to like 64 teams, or was it 32 this year?
Yeah. Do you like the
32.
new format?
Of what, the Champions League?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm on about the World Cup.
Oh,
So in
sorry.
In 2026, I'm sure it's like 32 teams instead of 24, 26.
Right.
It's like an extra-
you might be right. Yeah, I'm
it's
not.
like
I'm
the
not totally
Champions
sure.
League, I think that's Champions League form. I do like. I feel like it takes the like. I used to enjoy the Champions League because it was like Wednesday night, and you're like, right, we've got Rome, and then if we win at like
Famous club.
at home, Roma, sorry.
Yeah.
If we win at home, then it's like, right, like, are we away now? Like, this is going to be tough, but like, whereas now, because you don't have the home and away ties with the same clubs, I think it takes away a bit, but I get why it's done, because they're just commercialising it, and they're like, they get more teams in from loads of different more countries, like, it becomes more of a European Champions League rather than, I hate the...
It's the Champions League, and it's now the initial round is an actual league.
Yeah.
And the way that it's done it, because previously, if you locked in top of your group, then the final two games, you knew you top a group. You play your squad players, your young players, your academy players. The final two games don't matter. But now in the league format, you're always trying to progress up. And because you've got something to fight for, because the higher you finish up in the table, the better your knockout game is, and your path to the final. So I really like the format.
I don't like...
You know what, UEFA, round of applause for UEFA, guys. Brilliant. They've done a brilliant job.
It's the Conference League I don't see the point in. Like, you've just added like another shit Europa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the Europe is pretty shit anyway, to be fair. Like,
yeah, it's like
who sits on a night and thinks, oh, Thursday night Europa League, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
yeah. Yeah,
and then the Conference League, nobody in their dogs saying, oh, Conference League, you know what I mean? Spurs fans,
that's even worse.
That's about it.
Well, West Ham fans after they won it.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
but after winning a trophy, after I've won a trophy, I understand West Ham, what it means to win a trophy.
So if
and it must be great,
won,
but it was a Conference League.
So if you won the Conference League, how would you feel about it? Happy?
Well, yeah, I'd be happy, but...
Even though it's a farmer's trophy? Because it is, mate. It's full of, like, Danish league and all that, like, mid-table Danish league clubs. Like, it's not...
Yeah, look, the standard is not the highest, but it depends. Like, if you ask me now we've won a trophy. Jeez, I'm dragging this out. Obviously, it wouldn't be... It would have been interesting. If that was our first trophy, the Conference League... it would have been interesting to see. Like, obviously, we would have celebrated it a lot. It's a tough one.
I feel like if you would have won that, you would have been swanning about saying like Kings of Europe, like you would have been when you just pretended the Champions League and Europa League didn't exist, and you just act like you had won fucking all of
Champions
Europe.
of Europe. Yeah, you'll never sing that.
Yous would.
I think we. Yeah,
absolutely.
We would. Of course we would.
Fucking hell.
Nothing wrong with that.
We've went on a massive tangent there.
Yeah,
but
bit of football chat.
Yeah,
out of the way. I think what we should talk about actually is where we've been before this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm from Teesside in the northeast. Teesside / Teesside.
Well, it's Hartlepool.
Yeah.
But is Teesside like?
I don't know.
Hartlepool, Middlesbrough.
Our class it as Teesside.
Is it just that bit?
But I think if you asked a person from Middlesbrough, they'd say it's not Teesside. It's a Teesside postcode.
Yeah.
So we'll say
TS.
It's Teesside. TS. So up here, parmo is a big thing. So,
is that short for parmesan?
It is and it isn't. So a chicken parmesan or chicken parm, as Americans would say, a chicken parm's different.
Do Americans know what a parmo is?
So a chicken parm is like a chicken schnitzel, like
right,
with tomato sauce on, then cheese.
Oh,
that's a traditional Italian chicken parm, like Americanized version of it. So then Teesside, it's a chicken parmo, chicken parmesan, is essentially like a chicken breast / schnitzel. Excuse me, with
that like parmo's coming back up.
White lasagna bechamel sauce laid on the chicken, then cheese on the top, and then it's like baked so everything melts.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, I feel like it's a north and northeastern, but like for me I think like Darlow to like Seaham, Sunderland maybe, because I've had parmos in like Newcastle and they're just not the same.
Right.
So obviously Sam lives up there for his flat and stuff, so I said if we're obviously the podcast's in Hartlepool, so we've been to the Spotted Cow.
Yep.
That's like a pub near me.
Yeah, so I think the thing is I've never had a parmo before.
Ever.
Which is why you were like, we need to take you for a parmo and speak about it. We'll roll some footage because we got me taking the first bite of my parmo. I've just never had one in Newcastle. I think it is a Teesside thing, right?
There's a chain called Manjaro's, and they've opened a shop, like, you know where the O2 is in
Newcastle?
Yeah, and you go like,
well, it's called NX now, but yeah.
Well, you go up that street and there's the City Theatre, the Opera House thing on one side.
Yep.
The opposite side is a Manjaro's there.
Oh wow!
But it's just not the same. Like that might sound so fucking stupid, but like it's just not. Like you can just tell. And
I wanted for my first parmo, I wanted the authentic experience. Because you're the expert, so I wanted you to show me what a real parmo tastes like.
That was nice, but that I wouldn't class that as their best. Like that was good, but like not. I feel like we'd have to probably go like Middlesbrough for like a proper a mucky parmo. Like we're gonna go another. They're like I was saying, like the scruffier the takeaway, sometimes the nicer the parmo. Like risking like life or death for the parmo. Do you know what I mean?
Perhaps not something I'm wanting to do. Yes, I did like it. It was nice.
What do you think about like the concoctions of the?
But then again, it was just like chicken and cheese, really. Like as much as this is something I've never tried before, it wasn't revolutionary, but it was very nice.
But I feel like
I'd have another one.
I feel like if you tasted a different one from somewhere else, you might think like, oh, actually, because it's
okay.
weird,
I'm open to that.
The ratio of bechamel sauce to cheese changes the taste a lot. Like there's certain takeaways in town where like they'll put too much bechamel sauce on, and it just spoils the parmo. And then they put too much cheese on, and that spoils. You need the right amount of both. Otherwise, no. I'm saying as to sell like Jeff Chef, like in the cold food section. It's
Who's
like,
Jeff?
It's just a brand. Jeff Chef Parmo, I'm saying, mate.
Yeah.
But they're just a bit...
Yeah, but why would I buy it? I want a proper parmo, like if I'm going to...
We'll try...
It's not as if I'm now eating parmos every day, just because I've now tried one.
I'll have a think of some places and we can figure out where's good for parmo.
I feel like when I come down to Teesside, it makes sense.
Yeah, but not every time. Oof.
No. Especially not before a podcast.
Heavy, man,
we ate before. The only reason we did that is so we could talk about it, really.
But like I said, for his first experience, he needs to get just classic. I said none of this putting like red sauce or anything like that on. Just parmo, chips, salad. Like that's the go-to, I think.
Yeah. But
it's mad how like it's only Teesside. Like I'm saying, obviously it's Italian. I'm assuming. Like Parmesan, do you know what I mean? Like
Parmesan.
Yeah, but
it must be. I'm not sure.
His taste buds have been elevated now, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You finally.
I've opened my eyes to this whole new world. It's quite incredible.
It's mad, isn't it? How like different places have different like peas pudding. Like that's not fucking hell. That's not a thing, is it? Like anywhere else? Ham and peas pudding sarnie.
Yeah,
do you know what peas pudding is?
Kind of.
Don't have a fucking clue.
Showing.
It's like
putting a poor shift here.
It's just like a. What is it? It's like no,
you
I
don't know either, so
what
it's fine.
is. It's like a bean, but like mushed down. Like it's a up here. It's like a thing, a big thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's ham and peas pudding sarnies. Personally, I don't like it, but it's like a beanie thing.
Interesting.
Is it? Fucking hell. But yeah, like I'm happy you've tried it. I think you have to if you're going to be coming up here all the time. Like it's a staple.
No, I'd heard legends of the Parmo, so I wanted to try one.
But I think Middlesbrough way is your like best bet for like a proper nice one.
Right. You can take me there next time.
Yeah, we'll have a mooch.
Yeah. But should we move on to? Because obviously on the first episode we spoke a lot about me and my
your OCPD,
and you there and then diagnosed me, and
would you have not diagnosed yourself?
Hey, no, I'm joking. No, you would. I would. But my point being, anyway, we spoke a lot about me in the first episode, but this one I want to speak about you a bit more, and just obviously you can now reveal you're officially
part of the cool kids.
Yeah,
the cool cats and kittens. Yeah, so I had my ADHD assessment on Monday. Yeah, the 17th, Monday.
Yeah. Officially diagnosed.
Yeah, and she said...
So I want to know what that entails. And
honestly, mate, like I was proper nervous till I started. Obviously, it was on Zoom, so like I was thinking, like, what do I need to do? What do I, like... Are they expecting anything specific? Like, is it a test? Like, can I fail? And literally, she was sound as, like... She just explained about how... So obviously, prior to the assessment, I had to fill in loads of forms, like... And my mum filled in a form based on what I was like as a kid, growing up and stuff in school.
Oh, wow. Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, it was proper in depth.
It is in depth.
And, like, the lady who was assessing me, like, referred back to them and asked me questions and stuff. And a lot of the answers, she said, like, do, like, scream ADHD. But what she said was, she can only test for ADHD, but... She's also trained in looking at signs for like autism and other things. So she said, I hope you don't mind, but I'll be looking for them signs as well. So I was like, yep, that's fine. So 2 hours later, bloody chatting through, explaining everything. And what she said essentially was that she definitely thinks I've got ADHD. And she's seen...
Thinks? Like, it's not like a no.
No, like
it's not
she
like
said,
a certainty.
No, yeah, it is. It is a certainty, but
No, I'm genuinely asking.
no, like it is. She said like she thinks like as an expert,
Yeah.
she thinks I've got ADHD.
Yeah. Okay.
So like that was just my way of wording it, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But she sends a report out in the post, in an email to say like whatever's happened. And then she said, I also think you should get a referral for autism at your doctor's. And I was like, right, the tism. But because she said how it works is like, imagine your brain has got two sides. One side is your ADHD, impulsiveness, like I need to do this now. But then your other side is the I want a plan, I want routine. Like I can't go and do plans unless I've had 2 to 3 working days notice. Yeah. And she said what they'll do is they'll constantly like battle against each other, and that's probably why I'm always so like drained and just like knackered, because like I'm trying to like to be me, but then these two fucking people on my shoulder are like, oh. But she said
an internal battle.
Yeah, and to be fair, when she said that, I was like, you know what, like it absolutely sounds right. Like I get that sometimes, and like I get that like I am weird, like so what she said was, she said, obviously, do I have any like textural things that I like don't like?
Yeah.
And I said, for me, one of the big things is once I've ate, I can't have the plate in front of me still.
Yeah.
Like it just needs to go, because it's like sensory overload.
But that's not like texture related,
It's
right?
just sensory. And
Okay.
I said, it's the same with like touching certain things. Like I can't touch polystyrene. Just because,
yeah, that's a texture thing. Yeah.
Like it just makes me go all like weird inside. And she said 70% of people with ADHD also have autism. It might not like be at the same level, but
70%.
70%, yeah.
Just at least to some level.
It's misdiagnosed.
It's a spectrum, right?
Yeah. She said it's misdiagnosed because people just group everything into like ADHD. But she said you'll often find that they're both like working against each other, and that's why people are so like confused and like. But yeah, like I'm, for clarity wise, like I'm over the moon. Like I can finally like just accept that I'm a weird individual and so fucked. You know what I mean?
I think you'd accepted it already, but
yeah, it's just nice to get like that.
Of course,
you
yeah,
know
absolutely,
what I mean?
yeah.
There is a reason why I'm like a bit wired different.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
but
very good.
She said like there's
on brand.
Yes, the options for like after, like I'm saying I can do like counselling, and she said there's like a pop-up like group where like other people who've been diagnosed can like chat to you about it and that as well, about like how I feel. But I feel like I've always known, you know what I mean? It's not it's not as if it's like a shock. It's more of a like a relief at the fact that I actually know that there's a reason why I'm like I am.
Yeah, I think that's what stops people. Like, people don't see a need to go and get officially diagnosed, because they're like, well, what changes? Like, what am I going to happen? I'm going to get told, yeah, this is true, and then I think nothing really changes. You sort of go on with your life. So I kind of understand that if people don't want to don't want to go out there and
I think
see.
My main concern was work. Like, I didn't want it to hinder any future like job opportunities or like relationships with people based on how I act, or like if I'm interrupting people in meetings, like it's not intentional, but like I didn't want people to like get a impression of me that I'm rude or like based on that. Yeah. But yeah, I think
it's like a, by the way, I've got this sunflower lanyard because I've got ADHD.
Yeah.
Just in case you think anything's a bit off.
If I say something that I shouldn't say, like it's definitely not intentional, and like I'm not meaning to offend.
Yeah.
I just don't have a filter sometimes, and sorry, like.
That's good. It's good though. I like it.
Yeah.
In just like actual normal conversations, it's good.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, I think it makes me me. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't change it. But the one thing she did say is that they offer meds as well. But I don't know how I feel about taking the meds.
So what would the meds achieve?
It's speed. So it's like amphetamine. You know what I mean? Not like methamphetamine, but like it's literal speed. And
I've not done speed before. What's it like, Jack?
I haven't done speed before, but it's very like focused. Like apparently it works so that I can focus on one task rather than like being here, there and everywhere.
Okay.
So I can imagine it's meant for like doing like
Work.
an accounting course or work or something like that. Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's just the thought of being reliant on another form of med. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I'm happy to try it. Like,
because you already take some like pills.
I take
what are they?
sertraline for anxiety.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody. I've got anxiety. Like, and then just other ones for like
add that to the list.
Acid reflux and shit. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like just very overwhelming, and I feel like I'm just stop now. But the company I went through, so I went through Right to Choose with the NHS. So that's essentially a private company that the NHS are working with because the wait list is so long. I think she said NHS waiting list for an autism diagnosis is like 4 years. And I'm like, what?
4 years?
4 years, yeah. Where she said on Right to Choose, and if I select their company, it's like 16 weeks. And I'm like, how on earth do people think, oh yeah, I'll just wait on the NHS? 4 years, not a long time. I might be dead in 4 years, you know what I mean? I might be dead in 4 days, never mind 4 years.
Hopefully not, but yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go same process, see what the crack is and see what she says about this autism diagnosis. But
okay, so you sort of park in the ADHD, like you're not taking to take the meds, and now
I'm not. Also, I'm happy to if it can help me, mate. Like specifically with work, like I'm happy to take meds or, but I would like to explore if there's sprinkles of tisms in me here and there, but
yeah.
Like, I do get what she was saying, and, like, she mentioned... So, this is what I mean, I'm weird, right? So, like, I explained how I feel at certain points. So, like, you're going to be absolutely mind-blown at this. You'll probably think, what a fucking weirdo. But, like, there's something called catastrophising.
Yeah.
So, that's where... I'll think worst case scenario of everything.
Oh,
so like
my mind's not blown. I do that quite a bit.
In my house, I have to have my bed facing the door so that if we get broke into, like I can apprehend.
Mate, yeah, no, I relate to this. Don't worry.
And if I'm in like the pictures watching a film in like a cinema, I have to sit where I can easily exit in case like someone has a gun or a knife or something.
Yeah. Or it's like in a restaurant, you want to sit in the corner with your back to the wall.
Yeah. And she said what it is, it's a sign of autism because you're literally thinking and you need like a plan for something. Like even if it definitely won't happen. Like I'm not going to get shot in view in Hartlepool, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. You never fully know. So
I know, but like
she
said, a normal person's mind, like you've said, you never fully know. So that screams autism mind.
I might have autism, mate.
No, it's what I mean. Like, whereas she said a normal person would think like, yeah, I'll just sit here. Whereas I'm like, no, like we need to sit here just in case. Like, if someone along there has a gun and they start shooting, we can dip. Like,
do you not think that's just like part of you? It's just you're a man and you want to protect and you want to make sure you're, and also just the natural human instinct to survive.
Yeah, but
rather than
why am I thinking about a person shooting up a cinema? Like,
because it could happen. You want to be.
But that's your autism mind.
No. But it's just a good feeling to be prepared in any scenario. Of like, right. If you know worst case scenario, this is what would happen. Kind of know what I would do, and then you can relax.
Yeah, I get
like
that.
when you get on a train or a metro, are you like scanning around looking like is there anyone dodgy? Yeah, me too.
That's why I think I was a bit apprehensive to go to London, just because we've got 10 minutes or so. Do you want to chat about London now, or? Nah, we'll
save it for the next one.
Park it for next, but that was a lot of.
Yeah, we're recording another episode straight after this to break the fourth wall. Yeah.
Episode 3 next.
What are you doing?
I don't know. But yeah, like that's why I was apprehensive for obviously London, because everybody talks about like the crime rate and shit, and I was like, shit, like is pickpocketing really like that big of a thing? Like,
yeah, I think if in London, if you had in central London, because there's a difference. If you like had a nice watch on or had your phone out, like openly out, then I think you are a target. But I think otherwise, just keep your wits about you.
As in what, like texting on your phone?
Yeah, like just on your phone when you're out. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, no. So and then back on the catastrophizing thing. I think it's different between you being in a scenario, going, right, what's the worst case here? How can I ensure that we're going to be all right?
But it's every scenario.
And and you not being in a scenario. So, for example, for like me, when one of my mates was coming up from London to get the train to Newcastle, and we were going to go out, in my head I was like, right, what happens if there's a terrorist attack and he dies? Like what? Like I'm planning out like what happens. What?
Your night's free then. You don't
go get an early night.
No plans anymore. He dies on the train on the way home.
Yeah, but it was literally like, do we go out? What would I say at his funeral? Like, literally.
Yeah, mate, that is me. Like, I plan like shit that hasn't even happened just because I'm like, well, if it does, I need this plan.
Yeah.
Like,
that's interesting.
Literally, like at work, if I sleep in like 5 minutes, that's why I always text. I'm like, save me a seat, because I'm like, shit. Like, if I don't get that seat, I'm gonna have to sit somewhere else, and then my mind's gonna think like, shit. Like my whole routine's off. Like, what happens if I'm not on Excel and someone walks past and thinks, well, what's he doing on the screen? Like, literally, mate. Like my mind just goes. Like, it's as if it's not me thinking it. It's just, I don't know. But Neve didn't know that, like, that was a thing until I explained it.
Really? She, like, never... Because you've been together for how long?
About 4 years, 4 and a bit, yeah.
I thought she would have known by that point.
No, like, when I explained it to her originally, like, she didn't realise that, like, it was a thing. Like, not recently. Like, when I originally told Neve that I catastrophized, she didn't know that, like, it was a thing, because she obviously, her mind isn't autistic.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit weird, but not autistic, but, like, weird in a good way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, as soon as the person said on the call, I was like, oh my God, I was like, you've absolutely, like, I felt like she was literally speaking to me directly, like, as if I was the only person who, like, had that.
Yeah.
But
that's
now
interesting.
You've said that, that's so, like, relatable, I think.
Yeah. But I think also, I guess on average, it might be different for women. That just, I don't think they're a bit more innocent. They, like, enjoy the moment, whether we as men are sort of more likely to be like, right, I need to be keeping an eye on things here.
Blokes
like,
are overthinkers anyway.
Especially like when you and her are together, you're going to be more naturally, on average.
Yeah.
It's the bloke that's more likely going to be right. I want to be sitting with my back to the wall. I want to be aware.
Yeah. That's why.
And she can just enjoy.
That's why London was stressing me out, mate, because like she's not a fast walker, bless her. Like, she's like 5'4", and I'm stressing because I'm thinking about like, where is she at all times? You know what I mean? Like, is she all right? But then sometimes like she doesn't realise, and like she gets lost in like the sights and stuff. And I feel like I'm always having a go at it, but it's just because I'm like, we're in London, like it's not the same as Hartlepool. Like you need to, if you're going somewhere, you need to like barge people out like the way you can, like dilly dally about. Like it's different. Like it's a different city. To me, it's like another country. Like it's very, yeah.
Yeah, London's very different because it is a mega city. Like,
and because we're only used to like northern like hospitality, we were getting aggrieved by like Americans and other like nationalities, not saying thank you, not saying please, just pushing past you. And I was like sound mate, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's very 100 miles an hour sort of place in the city centre.
Yeah, but. Yeah, but how would we got on that? Was that because I was on about... Fucking hell, man.
Just talking about...
Catastrophising, wasn't it?
Just talking about you and Neve and being
men feel
in
like
that
they have to
situation.
protect the women. Yeah, I get that. But even if it's me, like, only me and, like, Neve's at home, I'll still catastrophise. Like, I've planned, like... This is going to sound really morbid, but, like, I've planned, like, what I'll say at, like, people's funerals and shit. Like, even though they're nowhere near, like, death, you know what I mean? Just because I need that there, just in case the 0.0001% it happens, like...
So have you actually written this out in any way?
But I know what I'd say. Yeah, like, I've picked my funeral song, everything. Just in case.
Wow.
Mate, honestly.
Because I've never taken it that far. Like, I literally just had
I think it's
a thought, but I've never really sat and developed on that.
Because both of us have spoke about death, haven't we? Like, both of us are scared of death.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm... Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's just a lot of unknown surrounding death.
Is it the unknown that scares you, the not known part? Because you're always in control, I feel like, of everything.
Yeah.
Is it the loss of control that you don't have control over when you'll die? Is that what
it's
scares
like
you?
I can live... It's like you can live your life, you can stay fit and healthy and live a long, happy life, but you still can't evade death.
Yeah.
Whether you're more like you're scared of dying early.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not fulfilling your potential kind of thing.
It's not as if...
It's like, think of everything... What is it?
It's just, like, I don't know why, because it's not as if I'm a health freak. Like, I fucking love a takeaway, and, like, the chances...
Definitely not after that parmo, we're not, neither of us.
Chances of me dying early are probably pretty high, to be fair, with all the shit in my lifestyle. But it's just So... It's the dying prior to doing what I've wanted to do. So, like, for me, it's having kids. Like, having kids and seeing them get old enough. If I'm 65, mate, and my kids die. If I'm 65 and my kids are old enough and I've seen them achieve, like, what they'd like to have achieved, I wouldn't mind. Obviously, I wouldn't like to leave Neve, obviously, but it's just... I don't know. Potentially, it is control as well. Like, it's the...
But it seems like if you did get to that point where you sort of...
I'd be scared.
Like, your kids have grown up. You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a hypochondriac as well. Like, I stress about anything health. Like, I'll have an ache in my leg and I'm like, shit, is it a tumour? Like, I'm proper...
Wow. Like anxious in that. Like, health anxiety.
Like, I've had aches in my balls and that a couple of times. And obviously I've went and had the old ultrasound on them, and in my head I'm like, fucking hell, like, I'm gonna have them chopped off, you know what I mean? And then it goes into the thing of like, oh, if you have a ball out, can I have kids? Then it's like, oh, well, what happens if I can't?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a bit like...
Then it's more catastrophising.
Yeah, it's literally never-ending cycle, like...
Yeah.
And that's why I know I'm just a bit fucked up, like...
Yeah.
But it's me, do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. With me, it's like... that's the thing. I know I said I'm scared of death, but I sort of switch between the two, of like the stoic sort of only like focus on what you can control. We're all gonna die. You can't control that. Nothing, like in 100 years, like nothing will matter. Well, obviously, hopefully, we're gonna have kids and sort of live through them. But I switch, like flip flop between we're gonna die. We're all gonna die. Nothing's gonna matter in the end. And oh God, we're gonna die. You need to make the absolute most of every moment, and everything has to be optimized. I need to make sure that I'm as healthy as possible. I'm as fit as possible to try and live as long as possible, to live the best life. And it goes round and round. And then sometimes I'm like, hey, just live in the moment.
But then what happens if you do all them life choices and then you're in the pitches and get shot? Do you know what I mean? Like, or
well,
like you get knocked over by a car.
If you multiply by 0,
that's what I mean. Like, it's mad, isn't it? Like how you can live your full life, like proper stressing, like smoking, mate.
But also, you can't live your life. You can't live your life
like a candle in the wind.
Thinking, well, I might get hit by a bus tomorrow, so I'm not going to take care of my health. I'm not going to put in any effort. I'm just going to live in the moment constantly. You have to. For me, I'm like, right, there's a good chance I'm going to live a long life here. Right, how do I then optimise for that, for living the best life, given that I live for 90 years or 100 years or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's good to get deep in conversation.
Again.
Yeah, in conversation.
Yeah.
I think I'm all for it, mate. Like, I'm happy to chat about anything, but like, yeah, it's just... people listening, it might be a bit, you know what I mean? But then if people can, like, listen,
there are going to be other people out there that relate.
Yeah, so if people listen and think like, look, like, I think like that, messages or talk to us, like, I'm happy to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Sick.
Very good, mate.
Are you closing or?
Yeah. We'll wrap up there.
Aye.
As always, if you've enjoyed, do give us a like.
Yeah.
Give us however many stars you feel like on Apple Podcasts or
5
whatever
all
they're
day,
give us 5. Come on, let's be honest.
I've even watched the podcast myself and rated a 5 because it definitely is a 5.
It is 100%. Now we've hopefully my mic isn't louder than yours.
Yes.
You got to give it a 5.
We've got as well Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Video is on YouTube as well.
So those are the 3 places: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
We are recording on proper cameras for our face cams and proper mics for the sound, but we also have iPhone recording.
Yeah.
So we can, if we feel like it, we can like chop in that wherever we can or wherever.
Yeah, or if I mess up with the camera switching like this.
Yeah. We'll. But yeah, man, thank you for listening. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. See you next time.